This there you know what time it is, bro. It's actually sunny outside, but for this season, man, I'm just trying to stay indoors. Honestly, man, it's fall slash winter right now, but trying to keep it indoors as much as possible. Thing about it too is they got the coffee out there. I don't know if I want to grab it. Depends, man. I might just stick around and see. I got all my I don't want to say office space, but like you know, we got the university access. You already know what time it is, man. Stay tuned. Anybody that's dropping in on this every Thursday night, 11 p.m. Pacific. I drop that truancy hour. Truancy hour joints. I just actually just finished wrapping up recording one of them. I used to do truancy hours as live streams, but I'm pre-recording them now. I actually have access to these, these, goddamn classrooms, basically. You know what I'm saying? We got the whiteboard and shit going on, but the cleanup, the cleanup is the worst part because I had to sit there and clean up the whole whiteboard before I could start writing on it. I didn't need to write much, but I just wanted to erase like one side of it. But anyway, that's Thursdays. So Thursdays, if you tap in, if you check in with me, you'll start seeing that. I'm just doing just to see who might drop in, who might be able to check on me, see what's going on. You know, for lack of a better term, we on campus. You know what I'm saying? So we on campus right now. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Got the whole did about 3 hours worth, 3.5 hours worth of the Dragon Quest. Had to get that in, and then I did a 1 hour recording of you know what I'm saying, my truancy joint. So that's the university mindset. That's the whole point of it. That's the university mindset. I want to impart on people. Speak to them about it a little more. So we'll see how this ends up turning out. Right now, keeping it, everything's all open. Give me a second. You know, it's it's rare that we get access to these spaces here. So me trying to utilize time as much as possible. I utilize the space as much as possible, man. What we got up in here? Jordan Carroll. Jordan Carroll, what's going on, man? What's going on with you, bro? Yeah, when we got access to start getting access to the spaces, I'm the type of person to utilize it. I got the smaller room right now today, but you know, got access to the room. I started, messing with the little temperature on the side, trying to keep it warm because it's getting a little chillier. The wind is blowing, so all this storm stuff that's happening, the wind is kind of entering certain buildings. So I'm having to turn up the temperature within inside the building. So anyway, I say this to say, I get access to the campus. I might as well use it. Start utilizing this stuff. My bad. Yeah, just making sure I got all my stuff. I got my, excuse me, the whole setup over here, man. How am I doing today, man? I'm doing all right, man. I'm trying to stay. I'm staying warm right now. I was, I had did a recording earlier. Sometimes when I stand up and I do the recording, I had my whole setup right here. Um, when I do that stuff, I'm able to stay warm because I'm just kind of speaking out loud and moving around a bit. But right now, I ended up sitting down for like an hour doing the gameplay recordings at the moment. So that kind of made me a little cold. It had my body a little cold right now. So I don't know, man. I'm doing all right though, nonetheless. Like I'm just trying to stay warm, trying to stay indoors right now. Like I said, we got access to the campus. So, we're doing campus things right now. Where am I right now, man? I'm on campus, man. You know what I mean? Who I got up there? Taquito and Jordan. You like the hat, Jordan? Appreciate it, man. I got this. I actually went down to Portland to get this hat. I went down to Portland back in. I went there twice actually. I went there back in I want to say the summertime last year, and then the wintertime this year. You know what I'm saying? Am I a teacher? I mean, you know what, man? I tell you like this. I'm not a certified teacher. I'm not an approved teacher, but I will say I have some thoughts. I just try to share, some wisdom that I try to impart, and I try to compartmentalize into certain lessons when I do my podcast stuff. So I wouldn't call myself a teacher. I wouldn't dub myself as a teacher, but if people are willing to listen, I'm willing to speak, and if people are willing to listen, I'm willing to teach. If that makes sense. So I don't put a label on myself necessarily, but you know, I don't know if that makes sense though. But hopefully what I'm saying to you, my bad. That KL is that KL or I don't know if I'm reading that correctly. That's just the point I'm trying to make here. Is like I get access to some of these spots here. I pre-record my own university mindset kind of videos when I get access to the campus. So what I was saying earlier was I needed to how to explain this. This whole whiteboard was pretty much dirty, and I had to clean up the whole joint. And they didn't give me like the right. They gave me like a used towel and then a messed up spray. It was like a messed up spray for cleaning the whiteboard. And then whoever was here a while ago, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't even know what classroom it was. They just left all of the equations. They had like all these equations and math dimensional stuff on the board, so I had to wipe it off. The lady was like, "It's okay if you use it because they're pretty much done for the day." But when I came into this room, I realized I was like, you know what, this room has probably been used. I don't want to say same day, but like probably sometime throughout the week. So I had to clean up a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? It was really interesting, man. Um, yeah, I don't know. It just bugged me a while ago because I was like, I got to do all this stuff. What we got up in the chat? Car. It's KL car. What's going on? Nice hurdle, or nice hoodie, or nice hurdle. Let me know. Um, my bad. Ethne Tonagus. Am I saying that correctly? Let me know if I'm saying that right. Ethne Tonagus. Jesus loves you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's always good to have a reminder. You know what I'm saying? I said it right. Are you saying I said it right? Okay, cool. So technically you are a teacher because you're teaching people how to have a good mindset. The thing is like I don't I don't like the title of teacher if that makes sense because on one end, I give an example like when I do my podcast, it's called the Truancy Hour. You'll find it on the channel. Um, when the truancy hour originally started, I was skipping like when I was actually a high schooler being truant from school. I would skip school. I would spend a lot of time outside, just whether downtown, in my neighborhood or just in different areas. And sometimes I would chop it up with these random homeless people. And sometimes you will learn something from homeless people. And them same homeless people will tell you that like, they're not teachers; they're just people with lessons. Like a lot of times they have these lessons, like, "Hey, don't be like me. Don't do what I'm doing." Just shit like that. Like little crackhead people. They would just tell me stuff, and I would just sit there and listen to them. So the thing was, they were kind of on the same mindset. People who raised me in my neighborhood, people in my family, they're like, "I'm not a teacher, but you better listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to the lesson I'm telling you." So a lot of times I try not to. When I think about it, I learned a lot about life from people that didn't that weren't getting paid to be teachers, if that makes sense. But they were teaching me things, so it's just like it lets me know you can teach without being a specific teacher of a subject or a specific teacher in the scholastic, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the school system, like just being within the school system. So that's just kind of the way I look at it. I'm not trying to say, well, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate what you're saying, but part of me is like I try to avoid the labels sometimes because I could be in a mindset of wanting to teach and be positive today, but then tomorrow I might be in a different mindset where it's just like we just need to be a little more reckless and have a different productivity to ourselves or even non-productivity. So sometimes I just find myself, I don't know, man, wherever the wind blows kind of thing, wherever that kind of takes me, you know what I'm saying? Adri, what's going on? How you doing, Adri? Adri, you at work? What time is it right now? What time is it? I don't even know. 5:30. Yeah. I was doing I had, like I said, I was telling people earlier, I have access to the space here, and I have access to the campus. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better term, got access to the campus. So when I'm here, I record my podcast where I'm just kind of writing down and jotting down a few lessons and kind of just speaking out loud, talking to myself a bit. And excuse me, in between those recordings, I got the laptop right here next to me. I got there we go. It's got the controller. We're just doing that Dragon Quest a while ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's did a little Dragon Quest recording not too long ago. Did about 3 of them today, so that's about 3 to 3.5 hours worth. I'm doing the math right. Yes, just about. So I was just doing that earlier, and then yeah, and then just like earlier, I had the whiteboard available, so I was just writing out TTH 207, just getting all my stuff done. You know how that goes. What's going on? Dragon Fruit, thank you for dropping in. Appreciate it. Adrian. Oh, you're at home. You about to make food inside today? Yeah, Adrian. It's cold outside, so I'm trying to stay indoors as much as possible. I'm trying to and it's hella windy out there. Like the wind is blowing, so I'm just trying to stay inside. You know what I mean? Noise stream. I appreciate it, Dragon Fruit. Thank you for dropping in. Um. Oh, hold on. Let's just do a quick because we did this before, but they keep on asking me to do the question stuff. So I'll hit you with the ask me anything. Yeah, what's up with this? I'll just hit the I may or may not have answer. See what happens. I may or may not. Trying to type on this phone, but I'm at a weird position. I may or may not have. Oh, what's up with this phone? All right, come on. Let's see. Let's see. Then I'll throw it up in the corner. So we'll go like this. Boom. We'll do it like that, and I'll just lean back in the chair. Let's see who we got. Fruit. Good job. All right. Your be your night bot for one mod an hour. Well, hey, Nightbot, I appreciate you dropping out. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, true. It's been windy and rainy last few days. Did your power go out at home? No, we didn't. I didn't. You know what's interesting is it hasn't. Last week, I feel like last week it got pretty bad. Last week I was recording something at the house, and then the lights flickered, and I was like, bro, my TV better not go out because I need to finish this recording right here. You have a good night. Oh, yeah, you have a good night too, Kale. Thank you, man. Should I spam hearts? Should you spam hearts? You talking about the thing in the corner of the? Hold on, let me put my finger right there. Wait, I'm too close. Like right there. I mean, you could. I mean, you could spam it. I don't know if it does that help. I'm not sure if it helps. If it helps, I appreciate it. I'll take you through. I'll take it either way. But yeah, I feel like it's been storming a lot. So where I live at, it's been a lot of storms. There's been a lot of people getting blackouts and brownouts. So certain people will have like the lights flicker, like, and then power will shut off real quick and then come back on. And then other people like there's actually where am I at? So like if I go down the block like 2 blocks down from this campus area, go 2 blocks. I think it's like 2 blocks, and there's like a house. When I walk past it, it how do I explain it? I was walking past and something seemed off because like across the street they have this power line. They have this power line, and it goes across the street um, towards the campus, like over here. Now the power line was like leaning downwards and towards inside the house because it's like it's all kind of connected by the street lines or whatever, or the I don't know what the word is, like there was all kind of connected or whatever. There was a tree leaning on the power line, so the tree was like on top of the power line. But if the power line wasn't there, the tree would have fell into the house, if that makes sense. So the tree was kind of like split in half because all the wind and storms. It was split in half, and then half of the tree almost fell into the house, but there was a power line in the way. So then, like now that the power line saved the house from getting hit by the tree, okay, that's good that it saved the house. But on the other side, it's like now you have this power line that like people have to like literally duck under. Like I was walking down that hill, I had to duck under the power line and not get electrocuted, and it stretches all the way across the street. So I don't know if they fixed it, but like everywhere I'm walking nearby, like there's last weekend and there's this weekend. This weekend I just seen like uh like the city vans or whatever, the I don't know what the word is, like just the city stuff, like all the people who work on trimming the trees and stuff, they were everywhere, just working on different roads because you have branches falling everywhere, you had trees falling everywhere. It was pretty bad, Certain There was like flood warnings the past couple hours, today and yesterday. You had the lights flickering too last week when it was kind of storming, but no power out so far, thankfully. Yeah, yeah, same. So I think the most of it was yesterday, and I feel like this week either we're more prepared or it's like less like wind power. I don't know. But I don't know. It's been the weather's been kind of up and down. It's been kind of strange right now. Like past 24 hours, it was like raining really hard. What's going on? Marina Willie, Marina Will, Marina Will. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. Marina Will. Yeah, I'm doing okay. It was just weird because the past 24 hours it was raining consistent, and it would go from like raining hard to like light rain, but it was like a lot of just water and rain. But that's like normal when you live in Seattle. So then the other thing about it was like I'm looking at the window right now, and now it's like clear skies, like finally cleared up. You can kind of see like the sunset off the clouds. Like it kind of looks like the summer sunset, where like the clouds are kind of pinkish, sky's a little blue. Like it's just nice out right now. Like it's just like we went through all that 24 just to get to this, but it's nice, man. It's I don't want to say flash rain, but it's like flash storms will be happening every weekend, damn near. Because the thing is, I only worked like 2 days this week, and every time I got off work, it wasn't even that bad. It was like I will leave. It'd be a little breezy in the morning. It'd be a little breezy in the afternoon when I'm getting off, and I'm like, all right, it might be kind of crazy tonight. And it wasn't that bad until it's only on Fridays and Saturdays it gets pretty bad. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I've been sitting here again, just being productive, getting the work done. We got this going on. See what we got, man. Yeah, now I can monitor everything like live right here too. So I don't know, man. I'm honestly like I've been here before. Like I've been on campus before. I've been on the campus before. I've used the whiteboard before. I've utilized the recording, the just being within the space. I'll say, and like it's funny because um, I don't know. There's not really much of a schedule today. There's a lot of free coffee outside. I might have to go steal some free coffee. I already had coffee earlier, but it was like one of those like honey maple syrup special whatever concoctions or something like that. And I was like, they have like this Pike Place roast kind of thing out there, or whatever. I might have to try that. Am I at the college nearby? Man, listen, Adri, um, we could talk about that later, but pretty much I'm just gonna say I'm on campus because I don't want to dox myself and say specifically where I'm at campus wise, but I'm on campus, so I'm on campus. That's all I can really say. Like Ma Marina. 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 Got you. Marina. Marina Will. Is it Marina Will or Marina Willie? Let me know if I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, Adrian, I don't want to dox it. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm pretty much on campus right now, for lack of a better term. And the thing is, every Thursday night, you'll see a Truancy Hour episode where I just try to speak on the university mindset. And I'm pretty much at the same campus every time. Will? Oh, there's no I. So Marina Will. Marina Will, appreciate you being here. Thank you for dropping in. Don Mc don't make me mad. Yo, what's up, man? I'm not Muslim though, but if you are, let me know, man. Salam alaikum if you are, man. Salam, peace. How you doing, man? I'm not though. I'm actually not under any religion at all. Like I do the like a spiritual but not religious. I'm kind of more on that line of thinking, if that makes sense. Firm believer in God, obviously, but I'm not religious, if that makes sense. You're making chicken adobo. You're making chicken adobo, Adri? How are you making it? What do you put in walaikum salam? Hey, what are you putting, like what kind of spices and whatnot? What do I think about Charlie Kirk? I don't think too much about him, to be honest, because on one hand it's like I wasn't really paying attention to it. I remember when it happened, someone at work had brought it up, like with the whole incident in Utah. And when they brought it up, they were like, this dude, he had said it to some kid, and these guys they use social media a lot. They're younger than me, so they use social media a lot. I didn't like based off of the name. I didn't know based off of the name. And then when they showed the picture, I was like, "Oh, I've seen him around." And the thing about it is, like, I just remember him kind of being associated with Rage Bait, but you also got to remember these are like 60-second shorts, so that's different than the actual full, whatever you call it, conversation. But I don't know. I don't really care much for him. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, I think in one regard, it's like rest in peace to that man, because what he went through, I don't think anyone should go through. I don't think anyone should be murdered. You understand? I don't want anyone to be murdered ever, because I'm on the mindset of like live and let live, if that makes sense. So you have some people that are so upset, like, oh, he got what he deserved. Like some people think that way, and I'm like, if that's how you feel about it, are you willing to go out of your way, leave the house, and do that to somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Because some people, they want to see people get hurt, but they don't want to be the ones hurting people. So I just don't want to wish that type of you know what I'm saying? I don't want to wish that type of outcome on anyone. And that stuff is kind of like it's dangerous to play with. Like, yeah, he might have offended something that was either close to you or even about you, but unless you were going to be the person that seems to do something about it, like the person had done. I don't know if I just don't want to be in that mindset. That's just not me. So when I say I don't think much of it, I don't really think I don't like his mindset of like wanting to be right and say certain things. I just don't agree with that mindset. And the person who actually harmed him and hurt his family, obviously in the long run, I don't agree with that either. So I'm kind of just like what I'm doing with the live streams and the podcast and the gaming stuff. Like I'm kind of just more in that realm. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that I don't have any thoughts on the specific things that were being mentioned, but hopefully that makes sense. My bad. You just have the simple ingredients for it to make. Oh, I got you. Oh, you're using chicken legs. Okay. We like making it in the crock pot so the meat can tear off easily. I think I know what you're talking about. I feel like, yeah, we usually put, it depends how much spice you like. There's like a level of black peppers that you have to throw in there, but at the same time, there's also a level of like bay leaves that I think, every region is different. Every region and every island is different because Puerto Rico will do adobo a little different than the Philippines, but even within the islands of the Philippines, depending on where you're at, excuse me, um, they what am I trying to say? Depending on where you're at, whatever region you're in, you know what I'm saying? They have different resources. They have different I don't know what the word is, like ingredients. They have different ingredients pretty much. So where we're at, we always use like a different level of salt, but then there's like a lot of there's like spice, but there's like kick to it if that makes sense. And then like bay leaf. So I don't know, but everything is different. Like just do it the way you do it. I don't think there's really a right or wrong way. People do like some really interesting renditions of it. Your beard goes hard. I appreciate it, man. I've been. It's funny. Last time I shaved my beard was Halloween last year, so it's been a full year. It's been a full year, and I've been slightly trimming it, but yeah, yeah. Free Palestine, man. I actually have friends. I have like two friends from Palestine, if I remember correctly. Obviously, they went back. Hopefully, they're okay. One was like a filmmaker, and then the other was like he helped author a book. And then I actually have one friend. She's from Israel, and she was part of the same organization branch that we're from. And she was telling us that she tried to fake a mental illness so that she couldn't be in the army, if that makes sense. Because she was like, I don't agree with like having to go. This is like back in 2012. So it's 2012, 2013. She's like, when we first met her, she's like, yeah, the whole conflict that's going on, because that conflict's been going on since like forever, like '05 damn near, probably before that. That's when I learned about it in like '05, '06. But it's still been going on. It's been going like 20 something years. I could be wrong. But she was telling us back in like 2012, 2013, she's like, I'm from Israel, but it's like mandatory to do military training. And because you did the military training and you pass your tests and stuff, then you can get drafted into any war spaces at any point in given time. So she's like, she tried to she tried to pretend to be mentally ill or like mentally retarded or whatever, just to stay out of like being within the Israeli army. And then she also went as far as to say something like it got so bad where like she couldn't prove it, so she started hitting herself in the head with a hammer to try to lower her brain cells or some crazy shit. But it was like, I don't know. She found a way to opt out of it. I don't exactly remember how it went, but her and like actually the dude from Palestine, they spoke a little bit, not for too long, but they again we're part of like similar sorry, same organization, different branches, and this is like a worldwide thing at that time period. So they were able to conversate, and it was an interesting thing. I have friends on both sides of the country, which or that conflict, I guess you would say. And a lot of it's funny when you actually talk to people and people like they don't want any of the things happening on either way. Like there's protests happening in Israel on behalf of Palestine, and obviously Palestine people in Palestine are very upset about shit for rightfully so. My bad. I think it's also how the sauce broth is made too. Some make it so vinegary. That's the thing. That's what it is. It's the vinegar broth that I kind of lean more towards that. I just try to blend it out and not taste so heavy. Yeah, everyone's a little different. Everyone's a little different. I feel like some people make the sauce like almost a little pastier, and some kind of make it just more like watery broth. But as long as the watery broth has flavor as well, if that makes sense. But I don't know. Everything's a little different. I prefer. That's probably why I prefer chow mein over like just noodles or like ramen. Because there's something about the sauce of it. Got to braid the beard. I'm actually like on Monday. I'm going to get a haircut, and then I'm probably gonna have the dude like obviously he does like down here and then right here, but when it comes to length, he always asks me like, do you want to keep it natural or do you want to trim it down? and like get it like even. So I might have him even out the length, if that makes sense. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see from there if he evens out the length, and then because it's been a year for me. So like when I hit that technical year, so tomorrow, today's the first. So then like in 2 days, I'm getting that haircut, and then he's gonna work on the beard. But someone who had like a Merlin beard, this dude recommended that I go to a beard grooming, a specifically beard grooming place, and he had a place to recommend. If I see him again, I gotta ask him because this is what I look like within a year of growing it, pretty much. You know, keeping it like this. You said it started in 1947. I'm gonna just say mad. I know it says don't make me mad, but I'm just gonna go for mad. Yeah, 1940. Yeah, it's been going for a minute, man. Like, and it's interesting because the person, one of the, excuse me, not the person, but one of the people, because I've been getting taught this shit since I was a kid, and you don't really know the weight of it until like the whole world starts paying attention and caring. But the one of the teachers in seventh, no, it was eighth grade. In eighth grade, one of the teachers, he was actually a Jewish teacher, and he said, "I want to highlight." He specifically wanted to highlight that situation. He showed us a documentary on it. He showed us a documentary about some kids in Israel and kids in Palestine that were being interviewed by a dude, and but sorry, by a group of people who wanted to work on that stuff. And how do I explain it? He said, "I just want you guys to see the stuff that I'm aware of within my own culture." Like it was something like that, but it was kind of cool that he did that. You know, he was a cool guy. I didn't pass his class though, which kind of sucked. But yeah. Do you get the facial head massage too, or just the beard trim? Got to treat. So the thing is, I've never trimmed my beard. But he offers this thing where it's like, because like there's certain parts where like maybe I think on the right side it's a little longer than the left. You know what I mean? So he's like, we can just even it out. He said, if you want to keep it natural, you can keep it natural, but you can even it out. So I'm not trying to, what's it called? I don't want to trim it all the way low, but he's like, if you could trim it to a certain degree where it's like it's still long, but it's even finally. So that's what I'm trying to go for. Don't touch the length. LOL, just fade it in at the top. Yeah. So what he normally does is he'll go right here, and then he'll go under the chin a little bit. But he always asks me like, "Do you want me to you want to keep it natural?" And I'm like, "Well, for now I'm gonna keep it natural because I want to grow it for a year." But I already met my year mark because last time I shaved was Halloween night last year. And Halloween night last year, I went to my homie's memorial, because he died on Halloween back when we were in high school. So every Halloween, people kind of just, we congregate together. We'll smoke. Motherfuckers be drinking sometimes over there by the corner, and like we'll sit there and do that shit. And like I just happened to be smoking out there in the rain, and I was like, man, let me trim it down. Let's do a quick no shave November. That's what I was saying, no shave November. But that's why I did it. That's why I went clean shave, and then I went like no shave for a whole year. But I'd always get touched up, what I'm saying, right over here on this side and like underneath, and then the sides obviously a little bit. That's what my barber would do for me because I mainly just go for the what I'm saying, I get it on a 4 or 5 and I just get the fade and the taper or whatever, like a fade and a taper. But he he always asks me, so like next time I'm gonna ask him like, hey, are you able to do this too? And then I'm trying to throw in the little tip or whatever, pause, and then whatever, because it's my barber. He's going through some hard times right now, so I'm trying to. It's crazy, man. I don't know how it is in your city, but haircuts be like $50, 50 to $60, over here on the West Coast at least. And the thing is, if you add the beard and all that stuff, it'd be like 65, 70 or something like that. And I like, when you do the 10 or 15% tip, that's one thing. But then I like to round it to 100, especially towards the holidays, especially for my barber because he got stuff going on. We got up in here, man. Oh, hold on. Let me see what we got. Hey, man. Shout out to I just says Nile. It just says Nile this one. But let me know, man. If you're still hanging out in the chat, let me know. Just let me know. Hold on. Make sure I didn't miss the chat. Or I'm scrolling up. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. That works too. Thank you, Adrian. I mean, that works too. I let the trolls hang around sometimes, But hey, that's why this is why I mod to certain people though, because I'm like I trust their judgment. But I let them hang around. It helps for some nice engagement here and there. But I appreciate it. Adri, the question is, and Alessia join again. Thank you for dropping in. Oh, Roscoe, what's going on, bro? See, see that's the thing is like it's showing me the at again, Roscoe, but that's all right. You know, I could tell it was you. No bad vibes here. That's what I'm saying. See, I mod certain people because I trust their judgment. You know what I mean? I trust their judgment on stuff. So, but yeah, I was gonna say the other thing was. Oh wait, we're talking about something. My bad. Yeah, I've never had that, so I don't know what it's gonna be like. I'm used to just having the nice like taper. You know what I'm saying? But having the beard, like I want to go to an actual beard grooming place, but I thought about it, man. I was trying to look around for a place where like it's a girl massaging my face. You know what I'm saying? I want the lady to massage my face and do the whole beard grooming thing or whatever, the massage stuff or whatever. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to do that. Like I don't care if it's an old lady either, as long as it's a lady just taking care of the face, doing all the whatever it's called. I don't know what this shit is called. Yeah, my streams are like that too. I don't like seeing it's a little weird, but I think I'm getting used to it now. I don't know, man. It's a little strange. I don't know. I'm learning to live with it, I guess. Not too yeah, I guess I'm learning to live with it, man. It's interesting too because I'll be entering a lot of different people's streams if they're like gaming and stuff. And there's a shout out to the crotchety old gamers. I think that's what they're called. And I know them through my friend Lilith. And their channel right now, my bad. Their channel right now, it's like on the YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry, on the Twitch side, it was kind of laggy. But then I want to say on YouTube, it's been smooth. So I went back to the Twitch last night because they had did something for they did Phasmophobia. They were recording Phasmophobia for Halloween. So the thing about that was it was actually pretty smooth. So then I messaged, I forgot the dude's name, but because there's two of them, there's like two live feeds, and actually there's probably three or four because they're also doing like Twitch, Twitch or IG. So there's like Twitch. What's the other one, bro? Twitch, TikTok, IG, and so they know how to do multiple streams at the same time. And he was doing Phasmophobia. I said, "Hey, it's finally pretty smooth on the Twitch side of things." He's like, "Yeah, I finally fixed the settings." So everyone's kind of working on their logistics and stuff. I would urge everyone that live stream to try to master your logistics sooner than later. Because when I was gaming with the Silk Song stuff, I was really sad because like 30, like I think it was like 33 videos in. I'm like 33 or 32 videos in, and it was all 240 pixels. But people were still able to see and make out how the gaming was. However, I was kind of pissed off because I'm like, bro, I'm sitting here. You're telling me all these hours I put in on Silksong, all these episodes. Some of them are 2 hours, some of them are 3 hours. The last one I did was like 4 hours. It's 4 hours straight of just fucking Silksong. You tell me that whole time it was 240 pixels. So I was upset that like I don't know. I was just upset. I was hella mad. Hold on, there. Let me get this out the way. But yeah, I would say everyone to kind of just work on the logistics stuff, man. And that's the other thing too. Like I think here, because I see a lot of vertical content. Like I always doom scroll vertical live streams, and my thing with it is like I'm trying to. I gotta. You're supposed to set up the setting in the beginning where it says subscriber mode only. So I got to remember to do that each time that I kind of tap in and do a live stream for people, you know? So that's my thing right now, man. The other thing too is like everyone in the neighborhood used to just see me walking around with the microphone. It looked kind of funny, but you got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do. Yeah, man. But yeah, let me wrap up all the stuff here, man. You know, I'm keeping these short and sweet. I ain't gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna wrap like just make sure I have all my things in order in front of me. You know, everything that I have in my surrounding area. I might walk out and I mean I don't know, man. You know, the other thing is like the connection at the house, Wi-Fi and just regular cable. It's been real choppy with all this wind. You know what I mean? Like I'm still here, so I'm still here, Adri, but I'm just gonna unplug all my stuff and start getting ready when I feel like it's time to go. Because I don't want to like last minute. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want to like, prepare myself last minute. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting because even at the house, we're just trying to watch basic cable. We're trying to watch the damn Astros. I mean, not Astros, the Dodgers and Blue Jays game, and then that would get a little choppy at times. This is like basic cable, but the wind has been blowing that much in our area over here, so a little wild, I guess. Ain't too bad. It could be worse. But I need to find out who wins the World Series tonight because what I try to do every year is, World Series, MLB Baseball World Series, NBA Finals, NFL Super Bowl. I try to get the MVP's jersey, whoever wins. Because my thing is like a lot of people get really emotionally upset when their team loses. Um, the thing about it is like when their team loses, it, I get how that could be like emotionally a problem, but it's also like the team doesn't exist for you and you don't play for them and you don't get paid by them. This isn't to like throw shade, it's just to be honest about it. And the reason why I say it that way is because, there's people who are like sit there and live and die by the Raiders, which I understand because like you love that team. It's like a West Coast team, but it nobody on the team or no one on the staff really knows you. You're just a fan. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like the way I invest in sports is like I like being a fan of my favorite team, my home team sport, or my home, all the sports on my home team or all the sports in my hometown. But my thing is like they don't pay you, so you got to find a way for them to pay you. So my thing is I invest in like the MVPs, if not the champions. This isn't to be a bandwagon person. I'm not a bandwagon person at all. Like I don't. A lot of times I don't even care for that franchise, but it's just like I do care about like I do care about who the champions are because that's a piece of history, whether the game is rigged or not. You know what I'm saying? History will show like 5 or 10 years down the line the amount of times the Chiefs got to the Super Bowl, and I invested into the MVP's jersey with the Super Bowl patch for that year, the World Series patch for that year, the NBA Finals patch for that year, and I was able to flip like when I needed money for certain classes and I needed money for like paying my mom's funeral and stuff like that. I was able to sell like the Atlanta Braves Ozzy Albies jersey for like 200 to 400 bucks, something like that. I was able to sit there and sell certain merchandise that like if I was sitting there like, well, I hate Atlanta, I wouldn't have been able to make that transaction. You know what I'm saying? So same thing, Aaron Donald jersey. Sometimes it was like you make certain investments that pay yourself in the long run, but a lot of people don't want to think that way. They want to think personally, but you got to think about the big picture sometimes. Did you get to do anything yesterday for Halloween? I think for Halloween, all I did was live stream a little bit of Dragon Quest, and then I sat around for a bit, and I think I bought some pizza down the street from the library, ate some pizza. They had some weird like Halloween themed pizza, or maybe I'm wrong. It might have just been fall themed pizza. So I had a bit of that, and then the other thing was I went home and I just kind of watched other people's live streams. Some people were streaming for Halloween. Some people there's like two people who did Phasmophobia. Well, there's more than two, but they were doing a lot of co-streams, like doing like 3-4 hours straight of like Phasmophobia and shit like that. And then you also had I think I just watched a little bit of the World Series. That was it. That's all I really did. Yeah, and most times they would put money down too. That's it's just yeah, it's really interesting. It's like there are people who like there's people who are obsessed with sports and then like they get mad when their team wins or loses or whatever. And like I get it. I understand the sentiment. I don't want to sit there and pretend like I don't understand it. But on the other hand, it's like there's other people who they'll take emotions out of the whole thing and then they'll just go to the casino and they'll bet on the odds that make the most sense and then they'll win money. So whether they have a favorite team or not, it's like imagine you bet on the underdog, which is like one of the worst teams in the franchise or something, and then that team wins you like $100. And to some degree, you can say that's your favorite team now because they won you money. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, when you're just a fan, if you're a fan, you're spending 40 to 50 bucks on the hat. You're spending like 80 to 100 or maybe 80 to 150 on the hoodie, the jacket, the jersey. You're buying the scarf sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You spend like 3 to 4, 500 bucks on just all merch to represent your team sometimes. And it's cool, but it's like, yeah, that's how they make their money. Now it's time for you to make money back off of them. So either you start placing bets or you invest in their trading cards, you invest in their NFTs, you invest in their merch that you're going to keep inside the plastic, and then you flip it in the future down the line. Like I just keep in mind like what is the thing that solidified that whole year? It was the champion and the MVP of that year, and that's what I kind of go towards. But I also do things in the middle where I'm like, this is like, oh, this is an interesting year for like John Morant. He didn't go to the championship ever, but it's an interesting year for him. So I might do something along those lines. and I'll do like little things on the side. So I might start getting into sports cards a bit. I had a couple sports cards growing up, and then I might start getting back into like the more recent time sports cards and try to invest and flip that money into like older sports cards, things that I could pass down to my kids down the line when my kids are born. Just let them know like, hey, this is some important shit. Well, so you got to think too, like people walk around with sports cards and like actually this is the thing. When it comes down to cards, you might as well invest for people who do cards. You might as well invest in Pokemon, if not Disney. I think Disney and Marvel have like the most expensive cards right now. But I'll give you an example, man. Like a sports player can make a controversial statement, or they can endorse um, any, like they can endorse any president that people hate, and all of a sudden the price of that card starts going down because it's a real life person, a real life human being making real life human decisions. The other side of it is like when you have Pikachu, you can never cancel Pikachu because Pikachu is always going to be the electric mouse. Mickey Mouse is always going to be the mouse. You know what I'm saying? Spider Man is always going to be Spider Man. Wolverine's always going to be Wolverine. Doctor Doom is going to be Doctor Doom, et cetera, et cetera. Like these characters are always going to be the characters that they were. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be the fan made version of the character. They're going to be the character that probably was tailored towards certain things. So like you can imagine certain comic books and certain Marvel cards for like Black Widow. When Black Widow died, you can imagine that shit just shot up in price. And I know this because my brother does comic books, so it's like he knew his shit, and he's like, oh yeah, certain comics and or certain movies that were projected to happen in the Marvel universe, especially MCU. Well, the MCU universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe specifically, the movie universe, that stuff went up simply because, like for example, the comic books predicted Ironheart. The comic books a long time ago. I think my brother had the first copy of Ironheart, which is pretty much the female Black Iron Man, which is the girl. I forget her name, but it's the one that ended up going to MIT and then doing all the electronic stuff. She's probably going to meet up with Peter Parker later on in the movies and stuff. But my brother had the comic books early, like he had the early Ironheart stuff, and then people are like, "Oh my god, it's finally happening!" So there's just like these comics that were like $5 when they came out, went up anywhere from 15 to 20, and now it's like 50 to 100, depending on if it's the first issue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're gonna be more around than us. That's the thing. That shit, like even like old Superman stuff that was before when we were born. That stuff is like that merch alone is just a lot. Captain America was around during World War II. If you have like a fucking Captain America, what do you call that shit? Jack in a Box kind of thing. Like that old timey stuff. You got all this old timey stuff, things that are just like relics of the past or whatever. All that stuff kind of counts to something, but you can't cancel these fictional characters. Their storylines and their characters are set in stone, so you can't cancel them. But an athlete can be canceled or whatever. All it's like you can imagine like Karl Malone probably had an expensive trading card, and all of a sudden when people found out he impregnated that 14-year-old girl and didn't claim the baby, it's like, oh shit, fuck that, and then the car starts going down in value, like just stupid shit like that. So yeah, let me get that joint out the way. Bam. I'm gonna start doing the Q&As because people don't really engage in those, man. I don't even know. I might just be a little distraction there because sometimes I'll just sit there and free flow speaking anyway. You know, it's funny because like at the bottom they hit me with another reminder for the Q&A sticker. It don't even matter. But yeah, I think about that sometimes, man. Let me sit there and hit the boom. Let's do this. I'm just leaning right now. I don't know, Adri, should I grab the free coffee? It's free coffee. I don't know if they still got it up. They're probably gonna keep it there till tomorrow, so I might just go and just grab me a cup. I don't know yet. I don't know if you're still there, but if you are, let me know. Like I don't need it. I'm trying to get better at sleeping on time, but I think it's fine to change it up. Change it up. Oh my bad. Yeah. Heck yeah, I was gonna. Oh, you mentioned the thing is I got coffee earlier, so I had the I forgot what it was. It was like I forgot what they said, bro. It was something maple, honey maple or something like that. Honey maple coffee or something like that. I was gonna. You don't need it, but you want the coffee. That's the thing, right? And the thing, if I go outside when I leave, it's gonna be warm. It's gonna be warm. So we'll see how that goes. Let me check on something, man. Hold on, give me a second. God damn. I don't know. I know the mic is still attached, but I'm just gonna walk back. Yeah. If they need the room, I'll leave. That was the other thing I was gonna say because I was gonna utilize. They left the room open, and that's why I asked the lady up front a while ago. I'm like, um if you guys are done back there, let me know. I'll use it. And she was like, so if they need me, I'll just leave. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. That's all I was waiting for. I'm just pretty much waiting here until security is like, hey, it's time. It's that time. You know what I'm saying? You've been here long enough. But I was utilizing, I've been here for the past couple weekends. I'm trying to utilize as much time. So until they need to clean stuff up and move things around, I'm just gonna hang out. You know what I'm saying? So trying to utilize that stuff. Got you when they yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with this. But Adrian, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I did 3 live streams for Dragon Quest. They're each about an hour each, like 3.5 hours right there. We did the pre-recorded joint, and then I got this going on too. You know what I'm saying? It's going. So yeah, I guess it's good. I guess it's cool. No, yeah. So um, I don't know, I'm doing the math right there. It's like 4 hours worth. Well, 5 now because I'm doing this. Like we're getting close to 5 hours on this joint right here. But 5 hours worth of just recorded content. You know what I mean? Per day. When it's my day off, man, I just sit there and utilize it. The other day was like what 2.5 for Dragon Quest, and then another 1 or 2 for Digimon. So it's like I gotta utilize time in my day, man. The time is available. I gotta take it. You give me an outlet. You give me a warm table or whatever, a warm room. You give me some outlets. I can safely leave my stuff where I need it to be and just utilize my stuff. That's why I like being on the campus. If I'm not at the library, I'm on campus. You know, and that's just the way I look at it. So I got all this time. I got to keep growing. Gotta gotta keep creating. Basically, I gotta keep creating. So every chance I get. Hold on, my bad. Let me check something. Oh, yeah, Crouch. So the crotchety old gamers are actually live right now. I don't know what game it is. I'm assuming it's Phasmophobia. Yep. Yeah, it looks like Phasmophobia. So if you guys want to look that up, it's on YouTube, but it's also on Twitch. Crotchety old gamers. For those that are wondering, even if you're here from the playback and you're skimming through, and you end up at this part, crotchety old gamers. CROTHETY old OLD GAMERS, crotchety old gamers. I believe it's on Twitch. It's also on YouTube. YouTube, they have 2 live feeds going on at the same time. 2 people running the same YouTube channel, but on Twitch they have the one. They probably have an IG. More than likely, they have a. I think they said TikTok. I could be wrong. I would say check them out. They're doing Phasmophobia. It's fun to watch. Real cool. Adrian, so are you cooking at the same time? Are you cooking while I'm just playing in the background? Because if you are, like, I'm gonna be mindful. I know you got kids, so I don't want to be cussing while the kids are like nearby. You know, I gotta be mindful of that. I'd be forgetting sometimes people have kids in the background. Like I think my guy Solarian was like, yeah, I was just listening to you while I was making some dinner for the kids. And I'm like, damn, bro, because I forget how young his kids are. I'm like, hey, man, if I'm cussing too much, you got to let me know so I can just slow it down, or just whatever, dial it back a little bit. I might have to walk over there, grab that cup. I don't know yet. But yeah, that's it for the. Oh, you are okay. Yeah, I'm just biding my time here, man. I'm good. Okay, just making sure. I got to make sure. Yeah, I got to make sure. Yeah, I also might have to hit the. I might have to hit the mute and then cut out the screen for a little bit when I start getting them moving, because that's the cool thing, man. It is getting dark outside. Hopefully, if the room is not available tomorrow, we'll see. I try to limit myself to like maybe 1 or 2 per weekend for when it comes to the recordings. But I'm getting better at this stuff, man. Hey, man, that's crazy. I reached in my pocket. I thought it was like a wrapper. I just got a random leaf. I'm gonna leave that here. Hey, it's a red leaf too. That might be a sign. It's a red leaf in my pocket. You know what the red leaf is? That's Canada. That means the Blue Jays might win. I'm telling you, bro, the Blue Jays might win tonight. That's crazy. That's crazy. I forget. Are we hitting daylight savings time? Oh, you know what? I could be wrong, Adri. I heard at the coffee shop earlier, some dude was saying he said around 2 p.m. is when daylight savings hits. It's either today or tomorrow, but I don't really know. 'Cause I feel like it's usually on Sunday, because Sunday is usually a slower day. So then they dial everyone back for an hour. If they do that, that's kind of nice because that means I'll wake up earlier. Technically, my body probably knew like, hey, it doesn't matter what time you go to sleep because you're gonna get an hour anyway. My body probably already knew that because I never use an alarm clock. I never use an alarm clock. It's funny, but yeah. Let me see. I feel like I feel like yeah, it's usually Sunday. All right, watch this. Give me a second. So I'm gonna mute and I'm gonna cut out the screen real quick. Actually, I guess I can keep the mic going because it's like I just want to show the visuals. But hopefully, let me know if you can still hear me. I'm gonna have to grab the coffee right now. Just funny. I'm gonna mute the visuals. I was about to use the bathroom too, which is funny, but this is courtesy of Pike Place, which is crazy. They come out with the lid. It falls back 1 hour. Ooh, hold on, that might be empty. That joint empty. Yeah, it's done. Because I can't do it. Oh, never mind for that. Falls back 1 hour at 2 a.m. Oh, at 2 a.m. And I think it means we get extra 1 hour to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, the coffee's done. That's all right. That's a sign. Should have been quicker. But all right, let me hit the mute. All right, I'm back audio wise. So let me know if you can hear me on the audio. Turn that back on. All right, look, whoever's still there, I rebooted the stream here. I rebooted it. I don't know how much time that gave me. I don't know how much time I got back on that. It shut it down, and now I'm back. So let me know if it's all good. Whoever shows up there, I don't know. It says 0 right now. We zeroed out. So let me know. Let me know. All weather, man. But yeah. Yo, this weather, it does send me back every time though, man. It does take me back every time. Like I will say, like every time fall comes around, bro, I think back to like high school years, man. It's just like that was the peak. That was the epitome right there. You know what I mean? Like everything was happening at once. A lot of people are still around. You know what I mean? Welcome back. Just let me know if it's better. Let me know if it's better. So I had exited, came back, but YouTube booted me out, and now it's like, yeah, now it's a little better. Oh, hopefully, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. But the connection is a lot better on this side. But yeah, now fall takes me back to like freshman year, man. There was a time period like during, uh, I was like, I would still walk everywhere, and I would walk downtown, and I'd walk back. And then there was days I would just walk past the old teriyaki joint that got shut down on Broadway, Yasuko's or whatever it was called. And mom used to take me there. It was like one of the dirtiest spots. Barely any places to sit. Sometimes crackheads just go there and sit down and hang out. But they had the best teriyaki. They gave you the best portions. It's crazy. But it takes me back to that era where I'm like, oh yeah, high school. Might have some money in my pocket. A friend might have some money in his pocket. They'll be like, let's get the Yasuko's. Sometimes I'll just walk up and down the street, different areas, have a Facebook conversation with people. Just all this like positive energy was still in the atmosphere. But then, there's a flip side to every coin, because that was the same year that like Bernie Mac died, my homie got murdered, like all this crazy shit was happening at the same time. So it was the epitome and the peak of like energy at that time period. But it's always around that fall season, like now, back to school kind of season starts to get crispy and start having the reminiscence, or whatever. You start reminiscing on that type of shit. It's a real trip, man. Very interesting. But I think about that life. It's still one of my favorite seasons. It probably is my top season, man. But yeah. Yeah, buddy walked off campus. No stranger to nothing strange, really. It's really interesting because as soon as I walked in, everything got weird. I was like, yo, is this security? This not even security. It's just bro was patrolling the joint on his own. I ain't mad at that. I used to do the same shit. Got bro crossing the street and shit. You know? That's the other crazy part. Can barely make heads nor tails about all this stuff going on now, man. Life is strange now. Life is strange that way now. But yeah. I might give it another minute or so. I'm gonna get close to wrapping it up. Yeah, close to wrapping it up. I thought about going to grab some food. It's funny. I didn't. I cooked breakfast this morning. A whole bunch of scrambled eggs. I cooked some breakfast, and then I did that so I can save money. And then now that I'm like going back towards the house, I gotta catch this bus, and I'm going back towards the house. I'm thinking about getting some more food to eat again. But I'm also like, Brad, you were trying to save money today, so don't eat anything. But I did spend money on the coffee, and I left like $1 tip, man. Am I gonna stream again tomorrow? I'm probably gonna do the video game stream, so you might see me playing like Dragon Quest or something. So you'll probably see a bit of that. So I'm gonna try to do some. That's why I gotta find out if that other classroom, the big one that I mainly use, if it's available. I'll be sitting there, hopefully for a good amount of time, and I'll get to stream and record myself. So we'll see. Treat yourself. That's what I'm thinking about. There's a certain spot I want to go to. I haven't been to in a while, so I might drop in on these guys. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. But yeah, you'll probably see me do some Dragon Quest tomorrow. But all right, Adri, since you're the last one standing, I'm out of here. All right. For everyone else that dropped in, anyone else here on the playback, whatever. Hey, man, love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace.